Shalom and good day all, and welcome to the Super Sons Fortress of Attitudes, which in this Super Sons, I'll be covering The Boy Wonder, Book 4 by Junie Barr. And as you can see here, there are actually two covers. And out of the two covers, I like the one more so on the right, as I feel it sort of connects a little bit more to the story as to what's being told, but I still do like the first one. So first things first, do these covers in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In both instances, they sort of do, to which I give the first one on the left-hand side a 7.5 out of 10, and the one on the right-hand side a 8.5 out of 10. I'll use the variant cover to show the internal art around the beginning, middle, and end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we've got Damien in a bit of a disguise of sorts, and he's being taken captive or being taken hostage. And in it, we get to see the character sort of like tell the tale of his past. But in this case, he sort of like has to make it appear in third person. So as he is a person who witnessed, or not necessarily witnessed these scenes, but heard about this from the Robin himself. So we move into a bit of a story to which she tells us about Ra's al Ghul and his the character who Ra's al Ghul sees as his legacy, being that of Talia al Ghul, and we get a bit of a history around that. Of course, Junie Barr reminds us of like the early parts in relation to how Batman and Talia came to fall in love, and eventually that love led to the birth of their son, which would be not only Talia's legacy, but also Batman's legacy. We get to see some events take place, and we of course, get to see some of the characters that turn up on the scene, and some characters you might know, some characters you might not. Of course, we do get to see the character Ubu and Ra's al Ghul and a couple of others. And we've got Damien, who's also been taught the way of the sword by his grandfather. So we basically get a bit of an experience as to sort of like, okay, now that you're a Robin, you have the choice to either be more siding to the more connected to the demon's head or to the bat. So you get to see that there's a bit of a decision set place. We return to see Talia al Ghul and her part in the situation. We get to see a little bit more, and even get to see how Talia has also intervened in some places in relation to Damien, but also in relation to Batman. Now, if it's something that I think some people forget about Talia, before she was sort of like turned full villain, is that the way Talia came across, not only in the animated series, but also in the early stuff that she appeared in a way, she would try to find a way to work in advantage to either Batman or her own father. So she'd use her feminine prowess to make her version of, say, the better decision in the time of the situation. Not this crap that Brian Michael Bendis has done with Talia, amongst many others that have somewhat ruined her character. But you've also got those who respect her character too, so that is also seen as well amongst certain writers. So as things continue in the story, we get Damien being told to wake up. So For all we know, the stuff that we saw at the very beginning might have actually been a dream. Like, he could have been dreaming that he was being taken hostage, when in reality he wasn't actually at that location. So as the story continues, we finally get to see Damian and Batman together. We get to see his connection to the League of Assassins and how well he's trained himself and how well he has been trained. The story advances and continues. We're starting to move towards the end. You get to see some of the characters once again, from the villains to the heroes. The story continues until we start to finally reach the end. I think if it's something that some people forget, is that how compassionate Talia can also be, but also how compassionate other people can be with Damian. And last but not least, we see him being saved by the members of the Bat family, including Batman, Red Robin, and Red Hood, and let's not forget Nightwing. Like I said, this is one series. This is actually quite enjoyable. It actually feels like it's a story written in connection to the continuity of DC Comics. Even though it's written outside, it feels like it's a story written by Damian. And this is him telling the story when he was a little bit younger. Not where he is now, but this is him writing this story at a younger age. Very similar to Little Gotham, that series, but slightly different. For the internal art, I gave it an 8 out of 10. I do enjoy the art because what you get with the cover, you also get with the internal art of the story. Next is the area of time. We don't get any indication of time. The location, we learn that some of this is happening in Gotham City. As for the rest of it, we're not too sure where it's taking place. I suspect maybe one of the locations of the League of Assassins, headed by Ra's al Ghul. The cast of characters consisting of Damian Wayne Robin, Ra's al Ghul, Talia al Ghul, Ubu, the League of Assassins themselves. We had Batman, Red Hood, Red Robin, and last but not least, Nightwing. We'll see you again at the Super Sons Fortress of Attitude, to which the next thing that will probably be reviewed will be the Batman and Robin next issue.